much more favorably to the person that would actually buy at a lower interest rate at a slightly higher purchase price, because overall for the length of the ownership of that home, the numbers work out better.
That's right. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
very important to consider.
Yeah. So we'll look into those numbers probably at some future time. But I know today we are really looking forward to seeing just going into our special Canada Day edition episode today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be good. We have a an awesome presentation. We're going to be looking at some prices across the country,
Yes.
and see sort of where comparable house prices. I know especially being in Ontario, everyone's always focused on the GTA and the crazy prices that they have down there. But looking into some of the numbers that you found, Joe, it's quite crazy how varied the payments are and how varied the prices are in a lot of the different provinces.
It really is. And one of the reasons why we wanted to make this episode for all you viewers out there is just because there's a lot of people that are moving across Canada, we're seeing now that they are working remotely. So just to see this comparable will allow those folks out there that are possibly looking at either traveling across Canada or moving across Canada to see those different price points and see if there's a different lifestyle in the future for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, just getting right into the thing, I want to be able to share my screen with you all just so you can see the presentation, and I'll go through it with you all here. And Sam, yeah, really excited that it's episode 27. We'll start today all the way on the West Coast. We'll start at British Columbia, and you guys probably know that British Columbia has historically been very expensive. And Vancouver is quite an expensive market, and it's a market that's also very limited with the land, so it's naturally going to be expensive. But looking at what the average home price is in the greater Vancouver area, well, it's over $1 million today. Wow. Yeah, all this information source of CTV News, but if we're looking at this average home price, your monthly payment would be approximately $3,475.19.
Wow.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of money for just a mortgage payment, not including your taxes or utilities, isn't it, Sam?
Yeah, that's quite high. Even the average house price, I don't even think Toronto, I mean maybe Toronto's around that same average as well, but yeah, very expensive if you're looking at moving out west.
Very expensive, yes, especially from anywhere in Canada, really. But you can look at Alberta. I mean, Alberta's got a different market altogether. It's also a nice area. You're really close to BC. The monthly payment is less than half.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you're looking at an average house price of $426,000.
So much more affordable, or even comparable to, some areas of Ontario for sure.
It is very comparable. I guess the thing that someone would need to consider is, do they like the cold?
Speaking of experience, right, Joe?
That's right. Yes, I know that once September hits, the winter hits. Yeah. We got Saskatchewan next. The lowest monthly payment thus far, average home price of $283,400 and a monthly payment of under $1,000. I think that is pretty fantastic. Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I know that it's really hard to get an average home these days for under $1,000 a month. So, this is one of the most affordable provinces that I've seen so far.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Although it's hard to find people that that live in Saskatchewan, because there's not very much population out there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good if you want to get into farming or staring out at a flat plains.
Exactly. It's a beautiful area, but yeah, it's a very flat area.
Yeah.
Next, we have Manitoba. You guys have heard of Manitoba, a very popular city in Canada. Average price is just over $300,000 in Manitoba, which makes the monthly payment just over $1,000 a month, but still much more affordable than Greater Vancouver area and so far Calgary area.
And definitely, as you were saying, for Calgary, if you like winter, Winnipeg is also definitely up your alley if you're a true
Yes.
Canadian through and through.
Of course, if you can make it in Winnipeg, absolutely. I mean, they have their own hockey team, everything. They got
That's
everything
right.
there. So yeah, I mean, again, Manitoba is just a little bit more sparsely populated, but also a very nice city. Live in Winnipeg, and gets you a much lower monthly payment than some of those other cities in Ontario. Now, moving to Toronto next here, I do have some numbers, and we were looking at Greater Vancouver area. We were over $1 million on the average house price, but for Toronto, we are just slightly under, which keeps us just under $1 million. However, the payment is still over $3,000 a month, which
Wow.
is quite large.
That is quite
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you're living in Toronto, you obviously are probably making a lot more money,
Sure.
but in terms of the fact that, so much more of your money is going towards housing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, looking forward to Quebec. We have our province, our neighboring province, Montreal, one of the most popular cities, and we do a few mortgages in Montreal as well. 450,000, 451,900 average purchase price with a monthly payment of just over 1,500. So we're creeping back up a little bit, aren't we, Sam? But we're still keeping it close to 1,000 at least.
Yeah, that's actually definitely quite affordable for like considering how much of a major city Montreal is. The price isn't astronomical compared to the GTA, and it's a more moderate monthly price for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. It's good to see that, just a little bit further down the 401 at Montreal there, we can get
Right.
a much more affordable home. So if you are in Ontario, I know that Quebec's just a little bit cheaper, just on the other side of the border there.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to New Brunswick, the nice little province. We got the Moncton area, and an average home here will run you under $250,000.
Wow.
This reminds me of back when I bought my first home. I mean, it was a long time ago, almost 20 years ago now, but we are talking about 20-year ago Ontario prices.
Wow.
Yeah. So a monthly payment of $846.70 on that average home.
Wow. That's very cheap. That's cheapest so far across from what we've seen here.
Yeah, you're right. It is the cheapest so far. So if you're looking to move to a very affordable area, and I've seen some people move to New Brunswick, Moncton would be a very busy city. And as I imagine, if I remember correctly, they have a magnetic hill attraction in Moncton from when I drove through. So they do have a lot of tourism there. So it's a nice city.
Nice.
Nova Scotia is next, and we have Halifax, the main city in Nova Scotia, the capital. They got their own university. Their average home price is a little over 450,000 with a monthly payment of just over 1,500. So very similar to Montreal here, and I know
Yeah, that's right.
Halifax has done really well recently. So
Mm-hmm.
still lots of room to grow. It's on the water. They have their own airport.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, great city, and it's not the cheapest, but it's one of the main cities out east.
That's right.
All right. So Newfoundland, we have St. John's, Newfoundland, and the average home price here is $262,200. Keeps your monthly payment just under $900.
Wow. Again, very affordable.
Getting very affordable.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're looking at New Brunswick and Newfoundland so far as the most affordable.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, Newfoundland so far is the one of the most unique homes as well. They have very nice colors on their homes.
That's right.
Yeah. I always love that about homes out east. They have lots of color. They have show a lot of character.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful down east.
Yeah. So I mean, if any one of you who are watching have any questions about moving outside of your province where you live in right now, give us a call. We have been working with buyers from Ontario that have moved outside of Ontario. they're working from home, or perhaps they've changed jobs and they wanted to move to a different province because of a lifestyle change, give Sam or I or Terry Lynn a shout, and we can get started on putting together a pre-approval for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I know that it's good to get started early, as it's good to know what you can afford before you actually start looking for a home, so you don't get disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'll do here is, if there's any questions, I know it's Canada Day, so we are technically closed today. So if you want to leave your questions down below in the chat, or in the comments, or send us a private message later, we'll be happy to respond to those later for you to make sure that we get back to everybody. But Sam, that was a nice walk through all of Canada from west to east. It's very, very interesting to see how much it's different across the country, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it does give a good insight, because I know a lot of people, with working remotely becoming something that more and more people are considering, it does make it an option at least to consider when you see the prices, especially down east. Under 1,000 a month that you're paying for your mortgage is, really not heard of in Ontario. So if you're looking at making that switch, or as Joe was saying, just looking for what you qualify for or pre-approval, we'd love to chat with you about that.
Yeah, sounds great, Sam. Thanks for the nice announcement there. And for anyone who is stuck with us till the end here, join us next week on episode 28 as we dive into our next topic. Looking forward to have Sam join us on that one again. And I hope you guys have all a great Canada Day. I know Sam, you'll probably enjoy it as well. Hope you maybe, I don't know if there's any fireworks tonight, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's right. Might have to set our own off.
Yes, that's right. All right. I hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks for watching and for joining us on